Om Namo Narayanaaya. 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 Yes, wonderful friends, welcome another day of our trying to study our glorious Shastras Upanishads, Shwethashwathara Upanishad, fourth chapter. We are again and again reminded about the nature of the self and the need to realize the self as the only way for the moksha. Good effort of ours. Let us continue it till we get into the groove, into the track, onto the channel, continue traveling, and even reach out to the goal. No compromise at all for any reason, outer and inner. Let all the rishis, gurus, devatas continuously bless us in this regard. So here we are, fourth chapter we are studying. Loka Sevakadi Vyaktitva Vikasa also needed for a smooth flow of life. So to complete blessings of Parabrahma Ishvara, Jagannatha, Devatagana, Gurugana, Shastragana, Gana, none of them should be neglected for any cost. For our quick, surer, proper, complete evaluation. Friends, every day we are sitting here for an hour and some 10-12 minutes to do all these five things. Veda Parayanam, common sense thought, Mangalacharana Shloka Sankalpa, Upanishad Mantra Ucharanam, and Adhyanam of the Upanishad with Bhashyam. Let us see today too the same 81 to 85. These five Anuvakas from the ninth mandala of Rigveda is our chanting. Please take out. Om Athaveda Parayanam Rigvedaha Navamamandalam Atha Eka Ashititama Anuvakadarabhya. Om प्रसोमस्य पवमानस्योर्मय इन्द्रस्य यन्ति जठरं सुपेशसः दध्नाय धीमुन्नीता यशसा गवां दानाय शूरमुदमन्दिषु सुताः अच्छायि सोमः कलशागम् अशिष्य ददत्यो न वोढा रघुवर्तनिर्वृषाम् अथा देवानामुभयस्य जन्मनो विद्वा अश्नोत्यमुत इतश्च यद् आनः सोमपवमानः किरावस्विन्दो भवमघवाराधसो महः शिक्षा वयोद्धो वसवेनुचेतु नामानो गयमारे अस्मत्परासिजः आनः पूषा पवमानः सुरातयो मित्रो गच्छन्तु वरुणः सजोषसः बृहस्पतिर्मरुतो वायुरश्विना त्वष्टा सविता सूयमा सरस्वती उभेद्या वा पृथिवी विश्वमिन्निमे अर्यमा देवो अदितिर्विधाता भगोनुशंस उर्वन्तरिक्षं विश्वे देवाः पवमानं जुषन्त 82 असावि सोमो अरुषो वृषा हरीराजेव दस्मो अभिगा अचिक्रदत् पुनानो वारं पर्येत्यव्ययं शेनो न योनिं कृतवन्तमासदम् कविर्वेधस्वापर्येषि माहिन्यमत्यो न मृष्टो अभिवाजमर्षसि अवसेधं दुरिदा सोमं मृडय घृतं वसानः पर्यासि निर्णिजं पर्जन्यः विदामहिषस्य वर्णिनो नाभा पृथिव्या गिरिशुक्षयन् दधे स्वसार आपो अभिगा उतासरंसं ग्रावभिर्नसते वीते अध्वरे जाये भवत्यावदिशेव मंहसे वज्राया गर्भः शृणुमि ब्रवीमि ते अन्तर्वाणीषु प्रचरासु जीवसे निन्द्यो वृजने सोमजागृहि यथा पूर्वेभ्यः शतसा अमृद्रः सहस्रसाः पर्यया वाजमिन्दो एवापवस्व सुविदाय सव्यसेतव व्रतमन्वावह सजन्ते पवित्रन्ते विदतं ब्रह्मणस्पदे प्रभुर्गात्राणि पर्येषि विश्वदः अतप्ततनूर्नतधामो अश्नुते श्रुता स इद्वहन्तस्तत्समाशत तपोष्पवित्रं विततं दिवस्पति शोचन्तो अस्य तन्तवो व्यस्तिरन् अवन्त्यस्य पपीतारमाशवो दिवस्पृष्टमधितिष्ठन्ति चेतसा अरुरुच दुषसः पृश्निरघ्रिय उक्षा बिभर्ति भुवनानि वाजयुः मायाविनो ममिरे अस्य मायया नुचक्षसः पितरो गर्भमा ददुः गन्धर्व इत्थापदमस्य रक्षति पाति देवानां जनिमान्यद्भुतः गृह्णाति रिपुं निदया निदापतिः सुकृत्तमामधुनो भक्षमाशत हविर्हविष्मो महि सद्मदैव्यं नभो वसानः पर्यान्यद्वरम् राजा पवित्ररथो वाजमारुहः सहस्रभृष्टिर्जयसि श्रवो बृहत् पवस्वदेवमादनो विचर्षणिरप्सा इन्द्राय वरुणाय वायवे कृधिनो अद्य वरिवः स्वस्ति मधुरुक्षितौ गृणीहि दैव्यञ्जनम् आयस्तस्थौ भुवनान्यमर्त्यो विश्वानि सोम परिधान्यर्षते कृण्वन् संश्रुतं विश्रुतमभिष्टय इन्दुः शिशक्त्युषसं न सूर्यः आयोगोभिः सृज्यत ओषधीष्वा देवानां सुम्न इषयन्नुपावसुः आविद्युता भवते धारया सुत इन्द्रं सोमो मादयन् दैव्यञ्जनम् एषस्य सोमः पवते सहस्रजिद्हिन्वानो वाचमिशिरामुषर्बुधं इन्दुः समुद्रमुदीयर्ति वायुभिरेन्द्रस्य हार्दि कलशेषु सीदति अभित्यङ्गावः पयसा पयोवृतं सोमं श्रीणन्ति मतिभिः स्वर्विदं धनञ्जयः पवते कृत्यो रसो विप्रः कविः काव्येनास्वर्जनाः इन्द्राय सोम सुषुतः परिस्रवापामीव भवतु रक्षसा सह माते रसस्य मत्सतद्वयाविनो द्रविणन् स्वन्त इह स्वन्त्विन्दवः अस्मान् समर्ये पवमानचोदय दक्षो देवानामसि हि प्रियो मदः जहि शत्रुवोगं रभ्याबन्धनायतः पिबेन्द्र सोममवनो मृधो जहि अदब्ध इन्दो पवसे मदिन्तम आत्मेन्द्रस्य भवसि दासिरुत्तमः अविस्वरन्ति बहवो मनीषिणो राजानमस्य भुवनस्य निंसदे सहस्रनीतः शतधारो अद्भुत इन्दायेन्दुः पवते काम्यं मधो जयन् क्षेत्रमभ्यर्षाजयन्नव उरुन्नो गातं कृणु सोममीढ्वः कनिक्रदत्कलशे गोभिरज्य सेव्यव्ययं समयावारमर्षसि मर्मृज्यमानो अत्यो न सानसिरिन्द्रस्य सोम जठरे समक्षरः स्वादुः पवस्व दिव्याय जन्मने स्वादुरिन्द्राय स्ववीतु नाम्ने स्वादुर्मित्राय वरुणाय वायवे बृहस्पतये मधुमागम् अदाभ्यः अत्यं रुजन्ति कलशेतशक्षिपप्रविप्राणां मदयो वाच ईरते पवमान अभ्यर्षन्ति सुष्टुतिमेन्द्रं विशन्ति मदिरास इन्दवः पवमानो अभ्यर्षा सुवीर्यमुर्वेङ्गव्योतिं महिशर्म सप्रथः माकीर्णो अस्य परिशूतिरिषतेन्दो जये मत्त्वया धनन्दनम् अधिद्यामस्तादृशभो विचक्षणोरुरुचद्विदिवोरोचना कविः राजा पवित्रमत्येतिरोरुवद्दिवः पीयूषं दुहतेऽनुचक्षुषः दिवो नाकेमधुजिह्वा असश्चतो वेना दुहन्त्युक्षणं गिरिष्टाम् अप्सुद्रप्सं वावृधानं समुद्रा सिन्धोरोर्वा मधुवन्तं पवित्रा नाके सुवर्णमुपवप्तिवान् संगिरो वेनानामक्रुवन्त पूर्वेः शिशुं रिहन्ति मदयः परिप्लुतं हिरण्ययं शकुनं क्षामणिस्ताम् ऊर्ध्वो गन्धर्वो अधिनाके अस्ताद्विश्वारूपा प्रतिजक्षाणो अस्य भानुः शुक्रेण शोषिषा व्यद्यौत्प्रारूरु छद्रोदसी मातरा शुचिः ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. That's great. Today's our job of daily Veda Parayana we have done. Friends, in our very precise, short, common sense thought, thank God till yesterday for 5 days. Exhaustivity we've seen the Samadhi Shatka Sampada, before that the Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampada, and also the other three things of Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam and many other beautiful aspects. We to feel is worthy of listening again, reflecting again and again. In today's thought, very two shortest things. One is what? Ki, what we need for our life in general, for its beauty, to perform well in our duties, in all our obligations, and also for our doing our sadhanas beautifully well, is listen carefully. We have heard it 100 times, therefore, we don't care this. This is to be cared from the day one when it is said first time throughout life. So, what we need is a steady mind. What we need is a calm and quiet mind. Isn't it? What we need is a subtle mind. More in all that, what we need is a concentrated, powerful mind. Because all our achievements do depend on our efforts, all efforts depend on our knowledge or understanding. This knowledge and understanding in general about the life and spiritual also has to be gained, has to be retained, has to be remembered when the requirement is there, and it has to be utilized. So, to gain the knowledge, to get convinced about it, to remember it, and to utilize it whenever required. What sort of beautiful antakarna we need for spiritual sadhana, especially. First one. Second is what ki this mind of ours, antakarna of ours is so sensitive it is, so delicate it is, such a mercury like of thing it is. Our antakarna, our mind. When I say mind or antakarna, both are same. So delicate it is in that unless we train it exhaustively thoroughly, taking in is there and throwing out is not easy. Very sensitive it is. So, this mind which is so sensitive and this mind which we need to be in this manner, especially for our spiritual sadhana, how much we have to take care of it, how much we have to protect it, and to take care of it and to protect it. How we have to live in this world, isn't it? Relation. How I have to live in this world so that this my very delicate mind, very sensitive mind, antakarana, is protected and kept always in the optimum condition for my journey here, spiritual journey. For my all spiritual sadhanas and journeys, I have to keep my mind in the optimum fit level, qualified level. It is so sensitive, Nana. It is so delicate. So therefore, how I have to live in this world so that this mind is protected. This is what is our thought today. Now, from this standpoint, you understand why all the values that are told to us in the world. है ना? Remember, whenever the kama, krodha, lobha, moha, any of these durgunas are there, feel for yourself whenever such gunas come. How much the mind is disturbed, how much the mind is agitated, that even the common sense knowledge of how to deal the world also we forget. That's the meaning of in Gita second chapter. ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः संगस्तेषुपजायते संगात् संजायते कामः कामात् क्रोधो विजायते क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृति विभ्रमः स्मृति भ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशः बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. You have studied all that now. Again we are going to say it. So that agitated, disturbed mind, because of any of these durgunas, cannot even assess and respond to the outer situations correctly, properly, authentically. Even though sometimes the wisdom may be there, but that knowledge of wisdom is hidden by that mood of the mind at that time. So, if for Vyavahara also the mind is not useful at that time because of that having all those thoughts, then will such mind ever remember the shlokas of Upanishads? Remember the meaning of the words and sentences of the Upanishad? Will that mind have any interest, any liking, any value for this knowledge is spiritual? Will it ever take initiative with full faith and shraddha to do those sadhanas, that too consistently, which is so much required? Now we understand. Are you getting the point now? That mind which is filled with all those negative values cannot properly do the duty outside. How can that antakarana be useful for the adhyatmika sadhanas? Right now, if at all we are not able to do any of the spiritual sadhana, starting from the first step of the listening, etc., liking, etc., all that is our inner equipment is spoiled. That is why they tell us all the positive gunas and values so that the mind is pure enough, powerful enough, controlled enough for pursuing this spiritual sadhana. Not knowing this, how many of the thoughts continuously we entertain. We make a habit of it. Therefore, we are not fit for the spirituality. Point one. Point two is what? In this world, therefore, what we are told is just to do the dharma. By doing our dharma, the peace, that consolation which we get in our mind, the contentment which we get in our mind, the freedom which we have in our mind is so essential for our all these spiritual sadhanas, as much as when that our duty is not done. With the disturbed mind, agitated mind, we cannot focus on our spirituality. Our duty, that's why they tell us. Second is what? Whatever happens in the world, good or bad, that habit of reaction, for whatever the reason, if we have that reacting mind also is so much agitated and being and is in the world, and it is always worldly. You know, that's why if the good happens, thank you God. Give the credit to God, give the due credit to the people, and be in that good mood. If the bad happens, understand, accept it as prarabdha. In a moment's time, forgive the people around and devalue the whole situation so quickly. Otherwise, the amount of reactions that happen in our mind, the heating up that happens in our mind, the dvesha, jealousy that comes, the thought of wanting to take revenge, all of them gurgle so fast like the horde of enemies are attacking to destroy us. That's what is our personality. So, from our side, we live our life of dharma in such a manner that we are not giving chance for anybody in the world to blame us. That we have to say again sorry, then feel guilty and regretted. All of them are not required. जो मुझे करना है कर दिया. So all this disturbance in the mind is avoided. That's why they say dharma is the first thing. The other dharma is what? When the world approaches us, world people approach to us, and how much wisdom they have, how much value they have for us, how much love they have for us, what maturity they have of interaction, communication. It's all questionable, no? Therefore, any time for anything they can say anything or do anything. If you don't have this wisdom and the maturity to balance ourselves, not to react, then we will react. And what's our reaction? मैं तो गलती नहीं किया, तुम क्यों कर रहे हो गलती? That also creates a disturbance. Isn't it like yesterday's beautiful story? That disciple did not get up. So Guru did not react to that. He was in his quiet mood. Because of his quiet mood, non-reaction only, that he responded to Lord Shiva's curse given to that Shudra disciple. And in that response, he was so alert that with so much of devotion, with Gadgadavani, one of the topmost stotra he has uttered, Rudrashtakam. What a good example for us. And how could spontaneously he could utter such a most valuable Rudrashtakam which contains the entire Vedanta Jnana? Because he was always in that mood. That's why it came spontaneously. Why it came to his mood? Why he was in that mood to be able to spontaneously render that Rudrashtakam? Because he did not react. Why he did not react? Because two things. He did his dharma of teaching the disciple, where and when it was possible required. The second dharma of he made a habit of not reacting to thus wrong behavior of the disciple. He has no authority on him. He never commanded him कि मैं तुमको इतना सिखा रहा हूँ, देखो तुम मेरी बात सुनो मानो. Not even to this, that he should change, he should improve. Even that insistence also he never had. He had concern. Concern is different from insistence. Out of concern only he had compassion. Out of compassion and concern only he gave the Shiva Mantropadesh, he gave Tattva he gave the values, he went on guiding him continuously. They are all concern and love. Other than that, how he will behave, what is his maturity, will he learn it quickly or not? About none of those things he felt any of his authority. Therefore, he never commanded. Therefore, he took it as it came. Therefore, he never reacted. That's why he could always be in the Shiva Smarana. That when the time occasion came, he chanted such a Rudrashtakam, which is eternally powerful. Good example. So, the whole thought is what? Mind is so sensitive. Point one. Point two, such a calm, quiet, beautiful mind to remember the Veda mantras, Gita mantras, to contemplate on it, or the mind which does the japa concentrately deeply, that type of mind we have to create and maintain. एक तरफ तो जप उपासना पूजाएं करते रहने से ऐसा मन बनता है, बट ऐसा बना हुआ मन इज इक्वल टू उद्धरेद आत्मनात्मान. But we have to do the second thing also. Na atmanam avasadayet. We should not allow that mind to get disturbed. That disturbance happens mainly because of two reasons. One, when we don't do our duty from our side towards the world, avoid it by doing the duty. Second, when the world approaches to us, when you don't have the maturity to respond properly, that time also our mind gets disturbed. The matured response is don't react. Accept everything as it is. Whether good comes or bad comes. That's what Sukha Dukkhe Samay Krutva, Labha Labho Samay Krutva, Jayajo Samay Krutva. Then only you will be able to focus on immediate duty of fighting the war. I am referring to Gita. अभी हम पढ़ेंगे ना इसके बाद. Secondly, such training of yours only later on will help you to do the sadhana of meditating on the self, which I already spoken, the Sankhya. That's Bhagavan's guidance for Arjuna with which he concluded that particular portion of Sankhya, Sukha Dukkhe Same Krutva Karke. Throughout life it's required. Second point, very, very essential. Third is what? Therefore, come what may with the world, good or bad, all the time learn to see the divine hand in it. Learn to see with a compassionate heart. है If bad happens from anybody, immediately forgive, never carry the load. Otherwise, you are disturbed. You can't do so. If the good happens, quickly, with full alertness, respond with gratitudes, etc., so that the obligation is cleared. And thank you, God. Throughout life, this is what we have to do. And at the same time, no dvesha to anyone, no raga to anyone in general also. This we always forget. And now you see in our mind toward the objects, toward the people, toward the experiences, how much of the raga dvesha we have, that all the time the mind is entertaining those thoughts only. With so much of a rush and gush of our mind having these thoughts, can we call ourselves spiritual seekers? Is it possible for us to maintain our ability to listen our shastras, remember them, understand them, and do that sadhanas? याद ही नहीं रहेगा वो. Very, very sensitive the mind is, I tell you. You have to prepare it so thoroughly. And you can't be without interacting with the world. One way of his one, totally avoid the world, be with you, do only your sadhanas, purify it and reach the God. This is the ultimate. If you want to do it, if you can do it, then leave everything, go to the Himalayan caves like so many lakhs and lakhs of serious, sincere sadhakas are doing. They all do that. उनको पता है जनता के साथ रहेंगे तो उसकी या मेरी गलती होती है, रिएक्शंस होते रहेंगे, माइंड डिस्टर्ब होगा. विद डिस्टर्ब्ड माइंड आई कैन नॉट फोकस ऑन गॉड. देवर सबको नमस्ते करके दे सिट इन द केव, वोंट कम आउट, नेवर इंटरेक्ट विथ एनीवन till they reach Paramatma. That's why they go. Because what I speak is in my hands. But how you respond to it is not in my hands, no? You can become angry, you can become frustrated, you may scold me, you can blame me. अरे क्या क्या होता है. अब दूसरे देश में तो बात इतनी बदतर होती है that if you don't know me and if I call you or message you, you can scold me. You can file a case against me in police station. This fellow didn't know me. I don't know him. He's contacting me. So he's harassing me. You can put a case on me. कितना गड़बड़ है देखो. दूसरे देश में और भयंकर होता है. People won't respond to any. अब इंडिया में भी हो गया because of thousands and lakhs of people trying to do all financial frauds through this. Every day we are getting the alerts that don't respond to the unknown numbers, calls, etc. ऐसा. By the way, this is a general व्यवहार. So what we are saying is, Baba, example क्यों दिया हमने? We cannot be in the Himalayan caves like that. So they don't come down. They know it. How the world reacts and responds. And that disturbs my mind. जैसे बहुत बार कुछ लोगों को होता है, उनको सिखाने के लिए होता है कि दे डू भला ओनली, बट फ्रॉम द अदर साइड so much of disturbance, frustration comes. To many, many good people, it happens. They try to do good, but people misunderstand them. You know why? Bhagavan says, even that obsession for doing good also is an obstruction. Remember, you have not yet realized the God. Your only goal is that. That is why Sarva Dharman Parityaj mein bhi aa jata. That's why in all our Prakanda Grathas, Jana Krupa, Jana Naishtoryam, Dono Utsrujata. Janakrupa means you are good, that the feeling should have, people should have the goodwill towards you, love towards you, they should respect you. For that I'll do favors to them. Even this nonsense also a disturbance. Good people suffer for this reason that being good is not your goal is knowing Paramatma. When somebody comes, check the credentials, minimum whatever you can do, drop. Once we are on the Adhyatmic Marga of Antarmukha and knowing the Lord, we have to be extra conscious, careful, and sensible. So we cannot be in the Himalayan caves that way. We have to be in the same world. We cannot means we are such a buzdil, we are say what we call as a attached fellow to this worldly bhoga, that we cannot kick this world and go. That's the meaning. Such a stupid anyway, useless fellows we are. So at least the minimum sadhanas which we are doing, for them to be effective, let us be wise while being in this world. The wisdoms are only three. One, from my side, I'll do the dharma. Second, whatever the way the world comes to me, I receive it. Third, I will not react to anything in this world to disturb my mind. And then I have no raga to anyone, no dvesha to anyone. For any reason, jab ka tab with the अनुभव को with all memory दबा के दफना के रख देना. Any lesson to be learned, learn from it. एनी लेसन टू बी लर्न ऑफ विवेक वैराग्य कुछ भी वो सीख लो उसमें से. उसके अलावा वो अनुभव को सबको डिवैल्यू कर दो. Not knowing this simple principle, we carry the load of some interaction happened with somebody, bitter one year back, 2 years back, 5 years back, 10 years back. वो बंदा मर के फिर से 10 जन्म लिया होगा. Still we remember that. Or he is not at all in our contact, that person. Or he is changed. Nobody is the same all the time. People are getting on modified. अच्छे बुरे बन रहे, बुरे अच्छे बन रहे. Nobody is the same. Yes, some analysis also is headache. Unwanted. This simple lesson. I will not disturb my mind while being in this world. One, I will not have any raga dvesha towards anyone. Two, whatever the way the world comes, I will respond with all the wisdom. Three, from my side, what is minimum dharma I have to do, I will finish it. Dharma nahi karo, to be regrets, guilt, and all the chance is given to others to scold, to fight with us, to blame us, to insult us, to humiliate us. That's what Krishna says to Arjuna in Gita, no? तुम युद्ध नहीं करोगे तो every type of insult they'll give you. भयाद्रणात् भरतम् अंस्यन्ते त्वां महारथाः अवाच्यवादांश्च बहून् वदिष्यन्ति निन्दन्तः तव सामर्थ्यं ततो दुःखतरं तु है ना. जैसे संभावितस्य चाकीर्ति मरणाद अतिरिच्यते. ये सब हमने पढ़ा. वेरी फ्रेश. रिसेंटली वी हैव heard it, maybe a week back. So what are the three things? From our side, we have done our dharma. Two, whatever the world approaches to us, accept it, whichever, whatever it is, and with all the matured wisdom, respond to it. Response is on what basis? That my mind should not be disturbed, that I am not able to do my sadhana calm and quiet. Like you are coming to this class. Before coming to the class, you might have interacted with people, है ना. They have become angry or something or the other होगा. तो disturbed mind से आप class सुन सकते हो क्या? You are seated here physically, but the mind, but why did she say like that? But why did he say like? But why didn't he come in on time? But why the newspaper has not come in the morning? There is no answer to the question why in this world. It is like that. That's it. So you accept it and respond properly. But the third one is very essential. For God's sake, for any type of feelings of sympathies, favors, कुछ भी करना है, उसके लिए जो जगत के प्रति राग या द्वेष होता है ना, दोनों मत करना. फर्स्ट वी हैव राग, then we try to help the people, then we don't take, they don't take it, then we become dvesha towards them, we express our hate. अरे काय का तुम हेडेक ले रहे हो? You are not this proprietor of this world. We are not the managing director. Don't appoint yourself. He is there to take care of everyone. Let him do it. You have some specified outer and inner duties given. Only stick to that. अपने दायरे में जब तक नहीं रहते ना, out of the way we go, out of our zone we go, we only get insulted. They give a beautiful example. There's a shloka in Telugu that when the lotus is in the waters, but Bhagwan Surya Kirana, Lord sunlight, blesses that lotus and it gets blossomed. So beautiful. But the lotus, same, when goes out of the water, its own place, the same sunlight burns it. ऊर्जा देता है उसको. Same sunlight which was blossoming it, when it was in its position called water, when it displaces itself away from the water, its position, अपने position से बाहर गया हो, तो सेम सनलाइट विल बर्न इट. इन आवर लाइफ ऑल्सो धर्म करना हमारा दायरा है. हमारे तरफ से विथ प्रॉपर शास्त्रीय मेच्योरिटी रेस्पॉन्ड करना हमारा धर्म है. व्हेन द वर्ल्ड कम्स टू अस, when these are not done, we will get disturbed, agitated, and our spirituality gone to dogs. And third one is, nobody in this world is important to us other than Paramatma, including even Guru. Enough of all the Guru and nonsense and sentiment emotions, which जब होना था तब नहीं होगा, है ना. Now when we have to do sadhana, all we have hold on to, nothing doing. No individuality. When our own individuality is an obstruction, how we can value other individualities? Ruthlessly reject them. Our drishti is only on tattva, 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 tattva. That's it. How that much effectively, unless we do sadhana, we can't realize. For that, the only instrument we have is the mind intellect. If it is not protected, if it is not trained well, then every moment being in the world, we suffer by reactions and not doing our sadhana. And that is not only the loss, spiritual also we cannot do anything. ठीक है. अभी आंख बंद करके देखो सुबह से लेकर अब तक, हाउ मच आवर माइंड वाज एजिटेटेड फॉर स्मॉल सिली लिटिल थिंग्स. टाइम पे चाय नहीं मिला या कॉफी नहीं मिला या काम वाले नहीं आए हैं और somebody called or so many things. 1 hour में 50 चीज होते हैं. To every one of them we react. We suffer. First of all, reduce all that nonsense. Secondly, do the minimum dharma to be done. Third, whatever thing comes from the world to us, very decently, very lovingly, very kindly respond so that mind is protected. यहाँ किसी से जीतना नहीं है हमको इस दुनिया में, बस नमस्कार करो. Third one is personally never ever have any extra value given to anybody, either through raga or through dvesha. We cannot afford to fill our mind with the thoughts of people and with the thoughts of our raga and dvesha to them, and our so many thought processes followed by those raga dvesha. Then where is spirituality in such a person? भगवान आने भी चाहते हैं तो हम उनको आने नहीं दे रहे, because the board is kept. I am engaged in my nonsense with all the stupid people of the world with nonsensical attitudes and quarrels and attachments. Oh God, please, no place for you. जब भी भगवान आते हैं बोर्ड लगाए, I am busy, I am engaged. Every moment the Lord is knocking the door, as Gurudev says, as either we are sleeping inside or we have gone outside. Each time the Lord knocks our door, we are either sleeping inside Tamoguna or we have gone outside Rajoguna. So what are the three thoughts? Five thoughts. First, mind is so sensitive. Second, it has to be protected so that it is efficient, sufficient enough for all our spiritual sadhanas of listening, studying, understanding, remembering, and using that knowledge and keeping on growing. Second point. Third, therefore, finish your dharma. Fourth, respond to the world decently with all authority properly. Authority means Shastra authority. Fifth and last is no specific raga, dvesha to anybody in this world. Let that servant be there with 50 years with you. Still no need to have any raga. Then only we can be spiritual. है ना? 50 years है, फिर भी नो अटैचमेंट. सर्वेंट कहो, ड्राइवर कहो, anybody. Just like Guru. 30 years we are with Guru, but we don't have any respect to the Guru. That is good. Learn knowledge from the Guru, that is enough. Then attachment. Wife or husband. एक उम्र तक. But once we enter into spiritual zone, the minimum due respect what is required as an individual, which we give to others, we give. More than that, attachments, insistences, expectations, suffer mat karna. Like that old man. 80 years, 85 years. So lovingly his wife called darling, darling, darling. How nicely he calls her so much. And then the other fellow is surprised. Ki, is such an old age you are, still how come you are attached to her at that age also? That darling, darling, इतना प्यार से बुलाते हो. He said wisely कि 20 साल हो गया, I forgot her name. That is why I call her. That is the wisdom. I forgot her name, so कुछ तो बुलाना है. So she likes it. No attachment. That is the wisdom. Wherever we are attached, both ways, positive attachment is raga, negative attachment is dvesha. Neither we can fulfill our dharma, nor we can keep our mind calm and quiet. Never we can do any of the sevas, upasanas. Never, ever we are qualified for spirituality. All these things, please remember. Very sensitive the mind is. इतना जल्दी वो react होकर agitate होता है if we don't train it in this way. My mind is precious to me. It has to be calm and quiet. और वो बनाना पड़ता है. उसके लिए these are minimum. Without doing my dharma also, I give chance to mind and to the people to disturb me. Having done that, without properly responding to the world with love, with kindness, with egolessness, with selflessness, these are all very essential while dealing with the world. This is called as absolute purity. Little impurity also you have in my intentions. Only two impurities, ego and selfishness. अहंकार और किसी भी तरह का सेल्फिशनेस हो, लिटिल ऑफ सेल्फिशनेस है, impurity है, then our response to the world will never be perfect pakka. Therefore it will have repercussions, negative repercussions. Even when I have to help others, egoless, selfless, then only a true help. Little expectation even of respect is there from them. That disturbs me. Yesterday, from that Brahmana Devata, we have to learn it. He never even expected recognition nor any respect, even. Forget about puja and upasana and obedience. He said, I am doing my duty of teaching this to that fellow. That's it. He wants his mind to be safe, protected. He doesn't want to sell the peace of mind for the useless things of the world which have no meaning, value, presence even for 2 3 minutes. ये सो वाइज इस विजडम को नहीं रखोगे ना आप, तो हमेशा एजिटेटेड माइंड, डिस्टर्ब्ड माइंड, एंग्री माइंड, क्रैंकी माइंड, रिएक्टिंग माइंड, माइंड फुल ऑफ द पस ऑफ all miseries, that nobody loves me, nobody cares me, nobody responds to me. Are good, you leave all that, focus on your sadhana. See the contrast of studying that Aham Brahmasmi Vedanta. What is the height of that knowledge? And where you are lost in the world, in the thoughts and emotions of the mind, with the things and beings. बहुत नेगेटिव भी नहीं रहना है, like hatred, vengeance. पॉजिटिव भी नहीं रहना, like too much of attachment, sympathy. You know, like Puja Gurudev's best example. When he is in a center, he loves them so much, not attached. Cease to eat both the things. One, the sadhana of them is done. Two, his work of spreading the Shastra Jnana Sanatana Dharma is done. That's it. Only those two clarities he has to do. Once he leaves that center and goes to next one, he never even looks back. He never carried the load of any other center or any other people. For throughout his life, how many number of years he lived? 42.5 years. He did the work. याद नहीं रहो किसी के साथ राग द्वेष नहीं मानो. You cannot talk so beautifully on Gita and Upanishads. He cannot do his other works. He cannot laugh. That shoulder laugh, that smile of Gurudev shows that he has maintained his mind by not reacting to anybody with any raga द्वेष. वो तो पहुंचे हुए हैं, उनके पहुंचे हुए स्थिति को we are not taking as an example. That's not reachable to us, right? But how he has responded to the world, from that we learn. That's the Sthita Prajna Lakshanas. Dukkheshu Anudvigna Manaha, Sukheshu Vigata Spruha. Ye Sthita Prajna Lakshanas become our sadhanas. We will study them exhaustively. I tell you, second chapter only will take 1 more 100 days minimum. Then only we'll go slowly. ये पूरा जिंदगी पढ़ेंगे गीता. Anyway, is it understood now? Finish the dharma to be done. Be careful in responding to the word. The carefulness is in egoless and selfless. And as per Shastra, respond three from our side. No raga desh to anyone. Therefore, the mind is always in a calm and quiet and steady mood, unagitated, with that mind fully involved in Shastra Shravana, Dhyana, remembering of what is studied, and then what sadhana to be done as per that knowledge. The internal sadhanas, the external. इस तरह से रहना है. दुनिया में रहकर मन को बचाना इतना कठिन है. वी नो दैट, बट देयर इज नो अल्टरनेटिव. यू मस्ट नो, आई मस्ट नो दैट. Think. Very, very good thought we discussed, I believe. Hope it helps us. Om, 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 Om Sahanavavadu, Sahanau Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Tejasvinavadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo, ब्रह्म भक्ति योग धर्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः. एरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्याता सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं. शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्र भाष्य कृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः. ओम निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानां सुकृते दिकृते बहुधा भवतो ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं सुखदं परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो नमः. संकल्पः तेषां कृपया उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्य बोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे मोक्ष कैवल्य प्राप्ति श्रुतिस्मृति पुराणे इतिहास संतवाङ्मयोक्त साध्य साधनानुभव सिद्धि सनातन धर्म से विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगति धर्म संस्थापकानां निरंतर दिग्विजयः. राम मंदिरवत् शिव कृष्णादि मंदिरादीनां पुनर्वाप्ति तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातन धर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तर शत्रु विघ्न समूल निर्मूल पूर्वक वैदिक हैन्दव संस्कृतेः भारतस्य विश्वे च धर्ममोक्ष पुरुषार्थानाम् अपि शाश्वतरूपेण सुसम्प्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थम् अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयः तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम् अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये कृष्ण यजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थम वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे. ओम नित्यानंदम निराधारम निखिलाधारम अव्ययम निगमाद्यगतम नित्यम नीलकंठं नमाम्यहम्. अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः. फॉर स्टडी बट पारायणार्थे षष्ठोऽध्यायः. लेट अस चैंट इन द 6th chapter 11 and 12, only 2 mantras. Start. Om एको देवः सर्वभूतेषु गूढः सर्वव्यापी सर्वभूतान्तरात्मा कर्माध्यक्षः सर्वभूतादिवासः साक्षी चेता केवलो निर्गुणश्च एको वशी निष्क्रियाणां बहूनाम् एकं बीजं बहुधा यः करोति तमात्मस्थं येनुपश्यन्ति धीराः तेषां सुखं शाश्वतन्नेतरेषाम्. These 2-3 mantras, little bit different here there, are found again in Katha Upanishad also. Same mantras. Right, friends, now let us embark in our studying of mantra 17 with Bhashyam. We have given good thought for the Sambandha Bhashyam. We also have seen exhaustively yesterday the whole day the literal meaning of every word of this mantra and its importance. Today we'll study it with Bhashyam as much as possible. Start. Chant the mantra ek bar. Om Eko Esha Devo Vishwakarma Mahatma Sada Jananam Hridaye Sannivishtaha Hridamanisha Manasa Vikluptaha एतद्विदुरमृतास्ते भवन्ति. Again, एष देवो विश्वकर्मा महात्मा सदा जनानां हृदये सन्निविष्टः हृदा मनीषा मनसा विक्षिप्तः एतद्विदुरमृतास्ते भवन्ति. So, Eshaha iti. Directly I am taking the Bhashya, word to word meaning yesterday we saw. Eshaha iti. I am explaining to you with my Bhashya this mantra, which starts with the word Eshaha. ये है फर्स्ट एशा मतलब इस मंत्र का आई एम गिविंग यू एक्सप्लेनेशन नाउ. एशः हु इज ही प्रकृतः द वन अबाउट whom we are discussing throughout the Upanishads and all Upanishads. Who is the only one hero about whom all Upanishads are talking and we are studying for? Parabrahma Tattva. And his Tatastharupa Rupena is Sachidananda, Tatastharupena is Parameshwar. What is Tatasthatha? With his Maya Shakti, he is Parameshwar. So Paramatma Swarupa Lakshana is Satchitananda Brahma. It always remains there. Paramatma Tatastha Rupena is Ishvara. What is Tatasthatha? With regard to something when he is spoken. So with regard to our Maya, he is Parameshwar. From being Parameshwara, all other things of Paramatma, whatever talked about him, everything other than Satchidananda, all of them are called Bhagavan's Tatastha Lakshanas. Tatastita. Tata means with regard to something else he is spoken. So here Esha means that Prakrutaha Paramatma. Who? Parabrahma as the goal, Parameshwara as our sadhana. Because whenever you talk about the creation or good qualities, etc., we talk about the Tatastha Brahma, that is Parameshwar. Because to Nirguna Brahma, we cannot talk. He is Sachidananda, that's it. Only we identify with him as a final state. He is non-qualified. He cannot be talked as anything. अब ज्यादा ही बोल दिया उनके बारे में by talking about him as Satchidanand. You can't talk about him even that also. Even Satchidananda Shabdas also create the duality. Sat means you are already accepting Asat. Then only you can say it as Sat. Chit means you are already accepting Jada. Then only you call something as Chit. Ananta you are saying because you are accepting Sa Anta. Therefore the Satchidananda words also are insult to Parabrahma Tattva. Insult means you cannot define him even in that. But that's the nearest difference for shutting our mind intellect. But that also in contrast with the Asat Achit Ananand. Paramatma to in dono ke bhi pare hai. You can't talk about it. But still we have to explain, therefore, that's the nearest Swarupa Lakshana we talk about him. Then with his Maya is Tatastha Ishvara, and his about him only we call as Sushtikarta, Sthitikarta, Layakarta, Dharma Samsthavaka, Karunamaya, Krupamaya, है ना, कर्म फलदाता, ये सारे पर ब्रह्म के नहीं. They're all तटस्थ पर ब्रह्म ईश्वर का. But Ishvara is none other than Parabrahma only with Maya. That when you keep on listening for a few years, that doubts will vanish, clarity will come. Don't expect Vedanta clarity should come overnight just like that. Otherwise I leave and go. No. Salo sal lagte. Anyway, now Eshaha means Prakrutaha, the Lord in our present discussion. Now Esha Devaha is the second word of the mantra. Deva means what? Dyotanatmakaha. Dyotanam means Dyuti, means Prakasha, means Chaitanya. Atmaka means of whom the Atman is. So Dyotanatmakaha, the one whose Atma is Dyuti, the one whose nature or the self is the consciousness. So Deva means the one whose self is consciousness. Who is consciousness? Dyotana Atmakaha. जिनकी आत्मा द्योतनता है means the one who is of the nature of consciousness. Okay, Devaha word is explained. Now the next word is important. Vishwakarma. What is the Vishwakarma meaning? As I told you, no, भगवान शंकर जी का जो भाष्य है कुछ अलग है यहाँ इस शब्द के लिए. बाकी शब्दों को इसलिए पकड़ सकते हैं, इसका केयरफुल. What is Vishwakarma? Listen. Mahad Adi Vishwam. He is dividing the Vishwakarma into two parts, Vishwa and Karma. He says Mahad Adi Vishwam. विश्व मीन्स महदादि, महत तत्व से लेकर के, फ्रॉम द महत, द समष्टि अहंकार, then the three ahankaras, then from the sattvic ahankara, adhisthana devatas, rajasic ahankara, jnanendriyas, कर्मेंद्रियास, अंतःकरण, तामसिक अहंकार, तन्मात्रास, तन्मात्रा से पंचमहाभूत, पंचमहाभूत म्यूचुअल कॉम्बिनेशन एटसेट्रा, ऑल ऑफ दैट इज कॉल्ड विश्व. ठीक है, महत आदि इज विश्व. व्हाट इज कर्म? कर्म मीन्स क्रियते इति कर्म. क्रियते इति कर्म. क्रियते मीन्स which is made. How it is made? Maya veshat vishwa rupam karyam asya iti vishwa karma. Karma means kriyate iti, the one which is done. Therefore, what is done? This Vishwa. How? Maya aveshat. So, what is the whole thought here? Paramatma himself, which is in Maya, appearing as the Vishwa. Karma is on whom the action falls. So, here karma is Vishwa. And what is the falling of action? The Paramatma only, with his own Maya, he is here. The one on whom the action is happening, that is the Vishwa, which is Maya aveshat. So Paramatma, with his Maya Avesha, he himself is expressing as the karma, the object on which the action is falling. And what is that? The Vishwa. So अपने माया शक्ति से भगवान खुद ही विश्व के रूप में दिख रहे हैं. That's the meaning of Vishwakarma. Not the literal, just like that meaning, विश्व को create करने वाला. That's the meaning. It also can be derived, but little deeper meaning Shankara Bhagavan is saying. Karma means kriyate iti karma. Okay. Then maya aveshat vishwa rupam karyam asya iti विश्वकर्मा. तो ये विश्व का विश्व नामक जो कार्य है, वो कार्य इस परमात्मा का ही रूप है, माया के कारण. Therefore, with Maya, he is in the form of Vishwa. That's the meaning. He is appearing as Vishwa. He is seen as Vishwa. So with his own Maya, he alone is appearing as Vishwa. Not becoming, not created. So Maya Veshat Vishwa Rupam Karyam Asya iti Vishwakarma. Generally, विश्व को बनाया का अर्थ क्या हुआ? Like the pot maker, pot को बनाया. So as if the pot is different, he is different. In the example, it is so. He is not the pot. Pot अलग है, ये अलग है, मिट्टी अलग है. But in case of creation and the relation of creation with Paramatma is not like that. He is Vishwakarma means what? He is with his own Maya Shakti appearing as the whole world of name and form. Like the pot maker is not appearing as pot. The mud is different, he is molding it. In that way, there is no some other padartha which Bhagwan has molded to make this world. जैसे the pot maker used the mud, made pot. So Bhagwan used some material and made the world. No. Bhagwan himself is appearing as the world of names and forms. How? Because of his Maya Shakti. That's the meaning of the karma is the created world, which is the Vishwa here. And that created or projected world, which is karma. Is it other than Paramatma? No. Vishwa रूपक क्रियते अनेनैति कर्म के रूप में Paramatma alone is there with his Maya Shakti. Simple is with his Maya Shakti, he alone is appearing as this world. There is no world other than Paramatma. World is an appearance of name and form on Paramatma because of his Maya Shakti. Itna samajh lo. So Mahadadi Vishwam Karma Kriyate iti Karma Maya Veshat Vishwarupam Karyam Asya iti Vishwakarma. Then next one Mahanscha Asau iti Mahatma. Okay, what is the meaning of Mahatma? Mahan or Atma. He is greater than the greatest and he is the self. Again, two words. Mahancha aso Atma cha iti Mahatma. Therefore, because he is the Mahan and the self of all, the conclusion is what? Sarva Vyapi iti artha. He is a सर्वव्यापी. सर्व है इसलिए महान है, व्यापी है इसलिए आत्मा है. Therefore, सर्व मीन्स महान, व्यापी मीन्स आत्मा, क्योंकि आत्मा ही व्याप्त होता है ना, जो व्याप्त होता है उसको आत्मा कहते हैं. Like the Atma of the gold, Atma of the ornament, gold is Vyapta in that ornament. So too, Atma of the Jagat called Paramatma is Vyapta in the entire Jagat. The Atma of the Jagat called Paramatma is Vyapta in the entire Jagat. So that Sarva Vyapakatvam is the meaning we have to take out of the word Mahatma. This is how we have to contemplate on the Lord. Now this cannot be if it is some Rupa Nama. As a Rama or as a Krishna, these definitions don't fit. Because Krishna and Rama are not Sarva Vyapaka. Because one is Rama, another is Krishna. So नाम रूप में चाहे वो तो भगवान का भी अवतार हो, सर्वव्यापकता नहीं होगा. सर्वव्यापकता will be only of that रूप नाम रहिता सच्चिदानंद ब्रह्म. तो एष देवः विश्वकर्मा महात्मा सर्वव्यापी इत्यर्थः. So three words are explained. First line is explained. Second line, sada jananam hridaye sannivishta. What is the meaning that? Sada means sarvada, hamesha. Jananam means of all the beings, all jivas, not only human, everyone. Hridaye. Now here again, hridaya is explained. What do you mean by sannivishta in the hridaya also explained? This mantra's explanation is very deeper and very exhaustive, very important. सो ऐश देवा विश्वकर्मा महात्मा, ये बड़े भगवान है, बड़े महान है, इन्होंने जगत को बनाया. Like that, a common man's, layman's definition we give. No, we are studying Bhashya. We have to have deeper meaning. Esha means prakrutaha, dehavaha means dyotana atmakaha. Then Vishwa means the entire Jagat starting from Mahat. Karma is that Jagat is karma. And that karma, which is Jagat, is nothing but Paramatma only with his Maya Shakti. Then Mahanishta so Atma, Mahatma means Sarva Vyapi. Now second line, Sada Janana Mridaya Sannivishtaha. Sada means Sarvada, explained. Now Janana means of all the beings, you need not explain that word, it is understood. Sada means Hamesha, Janamena means Sabjanunke. Seventh case. Jananam Hridaye. Hridaya means which Hridaya? Is that a physical heart which is pumping the blood and which is lubba 72 per minute times per minute? You know, Hridaya means what? Paramaya Vyomni, the supreme space. So Hridaya means Hridaya Akashe. So the Hridaya means Hridaya Akashe. Means that Hridaya जिसको चिदाकाश भी कहते हैं, चिदाकाश जिसको हृदय भी कहते हैं, both are same. Hridaya, Chidakasha, Hridayakasha, Chidakasha are same. So like we have the Bhuta Akasha, it is in which all the Prithvi, Navagrahas, solar systems, all of them are there. This is called as Bhuta Akash, where all the beings, Bhutas, Rupanama, Stula are hanging. Second is the Chitta Akasha, in which all our thoughts are there. That is subtler than Bhuta Akasha. Like when I close my eyes, all the thoughts I see. Let us say I am remembering a scene of the road. The road I am seeing, the trees both sides I am seeing, speed breakers on the road I am seeing, and I am seeing the cars going, cars coming, children crossing the road, one buffalo also crossing the road. And not only cars, the two-wheelers are there. So where all these objects are hanging, like these objects are hanging in this space, that's called Chitta Akash. Then where this both Bhuta Akasha with all the beings, Chitta Akasha with all its beings, both are stationed or spaced, that's called Chidakasha. The Chidakasha is called Hridaye. So Hridaye, Parame Vyomni, Hridakashe, Sannivishtaha. How the Lord is there in the Chidakasha of everyone? Here it is given an example. Jaladi upadishu surya pratibimbavat nivishtaha. Again you see, Jaladi upadishu surya pratibimbavat nivishtaha. So, like Surya is there in the sky, so there is Jala in, let us say, 10-20 baltis. In each of the baltis is water. So in each of the water, the Surya Pratibimba you can see or not. So how many Pratibimbas? Depending on how many baltis and waters are there. But with all the number of Pratibimbas, how many Bimba are there? Pratibimba is reflection, Bimba is the original. How many real Suryas are? Only one. So in the same way, if let us say you and I are 10 people seated, all of us are pot. And in us, the Antakarana is there, that's the water. And in each of the Antakarana, like in each of the water in the pot, just like the Surya reflects, so too this Atma Deva is reflect. As what Chidabhas. So, in us, Bhagavan is there as Chidabhasa. Sada Janana Hridaye Sannivishta. That Chidabhasa, when it is extroverted, he is a Jiva Samsara. When the Chidabhasa focus is his attention on the cause of him, called a Chit Swarupa, then he is sadhak. When the Chidabhasa merges in Chit Swarupa Paramatma, now it is not there an entity independent. That's called moksha sthiti. We'll talk little bit about it tomorrow. So, Hridaye Parame Vyomni Hridakashe Jaladi Upadishu Surya Pratimivat Nivishtaha. What is the Nivishtaha? Samyak Avasthitha iti etatu. Samyak Avasthitha iti etatu. So, he is there in the heart of everyone as that Siddhavas. Now, here स एव साक्ष्यरूपेण हृदा हृन् हरणे इति स्मरणात् हरति इति हृत् तेन हृदा नेति नेति इति निषेधोपदेशेन मनीषः अयं पुरुषार्थः अयम् अपुरुषार्थः अयम् आत्मा अयम् अनात्मा इति एतया विवेकबुद्ध्या मनसा विचारसाध्य एकत्वज्ञानेन च अभिक्लुप्तः. तो हृदय सन्निविष्ट was explained his place for us to recognize. Now in the third line, three sadhanas are told, as we saw yesterday. Hrida, Manasa, then third one is what? Manisha. These three are the sadhanas that are explained in the next portion of this Bhashyam. Tomorrow we'll study that. So, Eshaha, Devaha, Vishwakarma, Mahatma, Sada Janana Hridaye Sannivishtaha. These 5 words we understood. The remaining, the sadhana aspect of it, with that when we realize him, we become the Amrita. Those portions tomorrow we'll study. इतना दिमाग हमारा सुनने से काफी है. हर दिन उतना ही डोज लेना है जितना ले सकते हैं. थैंक यू. ओम 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 पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. Thank you. That's it. Brahma. Quickly let's study Gita.